In the intro series, you were introduced to the idea of the wave of fortune, the sense that when things begin going well, they tend to continue going well. Opportunities appear, timing improves, effort feels lighter. Many people hear this and assume it's about luck or positive thinking or trying to stay upbeat no matter what. Reality transurfing points to something more precise. The wave of fortune is not an external event. It is something that happens to you. It's a state you enter. When your inner state is balanced, reality begins to respond differently, not magically, but mechanically. This is one of the most misunderstood ideas in transurfing. People try to create a wave by forcing positivity. They try to ignore problems. They try to convince themselves that everything is fine. But forced positivity is still pressure, and pressure disrupts balance. The wave of fortune does not respond to pretending. It responds to alignment. Alignment between your inner state, your attention, and the flow of events around you. In the book, Zeland describes the wave of fortune as a sequence of favorable alternatives. Once you enter that sequence, events begin to support one another, not because you are controlling reality, but because you are no longer interfering with it. Here's a simple example. Think about a day where everything felt slightly off. Small annoyances, missed timing, minor setbacks, each one pulled your attention further out of balance. Now compare that to a day where things flowed. You felt calm, you handled interruptions without resistance, you noticed small wins. The external events may not have been dramatic, but the experience was completely different. That difference begins internally. When excess importance drops and pendulums lose their grip, balance returns. And balance is the doorway to the wave of fortune. This is why the wave often begins with something small, a moment of appreciation, a minor success, a situation resolving itself without effort. The mistake people make is ignoring these moments. They treat them as insignificant. But in transurfing, attention amplifies reality. When you acknowledge favorable events without clinging to them, you strengthen the sequence, not by demanding more, but by staying in balance. This is why gratitude works in transurfing, but only when it is natural. Forced gratitude creates tension. Natural recognition creates alignment. The wave grows when you notice what's already working. This does not mean denying challenges. It means not turning them into obstacles through emotional resistance. In the book, Zeland emphasizes that resistance blocks the flow. When you argue with reality, you push against the current. When you accept what is happening without excess importance, you regain movement. This is another paradox. Acceptance is not surrender, it's cooperation. When you cooperate with reality, it cooperates with you. Over time, this changes how life feels. Not because problems disappear, but because you stop amplifying them. Momentum builds quietly. One supportive event leads to another, not in a dramatic cascade, but in a steady progression. This is what it means to ride the wave of fortune. You are not chasing it. You are staying balanced enough to remain on it. As you move through your day, notice moments where things go smoothly. Notice when effort decreases. Notice when timing improves. These are not accidents, they are signals. Signals that your state is aligned. For now, you don't need to hold on to the wave. Just notice when you're on it and when you step off. That awareness alone changes how often it appears. And when you understand how balance, pendulums, and excess importance interact, you begin to see why reality responds the way it does. This understanding sets the stage for the next layer of work. Because once you can recognize favorable flow, the next question becomes deeper. How do you remain aligned with your true lifeline, even when circumstances shift? When you're ready, move on to the next module.